2 countries, 2 philosophies, and 1 goal: to move people at speeds that rival commercial aviation. If you've ever traveled through Western Europe, you've likely seen them: the German ICE and the French TGV. They look like 2 sides of the same coin, but beneath lies a fierce ideological war. Today we are putting Germany and France head to head in the ultimate railway showdown. Which system is better? Let's find out. Before we jump into the numbers, let's have a look at a history. France was first in the 1970s, facing an energy crisis and looking to bypass congested highway corridors. France invested heavily in dedicated high-speed rail. In 1981, the iconic orange TGV officially debuted between Paris and Lyon, completely changing the European transit. Germany watched closely but took a different approach. 10 years later, in 1991, Deutsche Bahn introduced the ICE1 on the Hamburg-Frankfurt-Munich corridor, while France built a brand new tracks exclusively for high-speed trains. Germany had another approach. They attempted to blend their new super trains seamlessly into an already existing, highly complex network. This brings us to our first core criterion: the infrastructure. And here the design philosophies wildly diverge. The length of high-speed lines above 230 km per hour. When it comes to dedicated, pure high-speed infrastructure, France dominates. France has built over 2,800 kilometers of pure high-speed lines. These tracks are completely separated from slow regional trains and heavy freight traffic. Germany, on the other hand, has only 1,600 kilometers of dedicated high-speed tracks. The rest of the time, the ICE is forced to share tracks with slower regional and freight trains, slowing it down significantly around major urban hubs. In this case, the network is better in France. The total ridership. On a pure volume basis, both networks pull massive numbers. The TGV network transported 168 million passengers last year across France and Europe. The German ICE network carries only about 130 million passengers per year. The French result is even more impressive if you consider that France has a smaller population than Germany. Therefore, this is a win for France. Maximum speed. In daily commercial operations, the TGV flies across the French countryside at a staggering 320 km per hour. Because their tracks are straight, dedicated and free of freight interference, they can maintain this insane pace for hours. The newest German ICE models like the ICE3 and the ICE3 Neo are technically capable of 330 km per hour, but because of the tracks and mixed traffic constraints, they rarely sustain speeds above 300 km per hour. And even then, only on quite short sections. And let's not forget the ultimate world speed record for conventional wheeled trains at mind-melting 574 km per hour back in 2007, set by a specifically modified TGV. This is again another win for France. Fleet. In this category we compare which system has bigger fleet. Since each train can carry different amount of passengers, we will look at the total seating capacity each fleet has to offer. Let's have a look at the German ICE, starting with the ICE1. This is the train that started it all in 1991. It is the grandfather of German high-speed rail. You can spot an ICE1 instantly because it has separate massive power cores at the front and back. Originally, the ICE1 was a luxury hotel on wheels. It famously featured audio jacks at every seat with multiple radio channels and even video screens built into the back of some seats. The top speed is 280 km per hour and there have been 58 units built, and they can carry 503 passengers per unit. The ICE-2, introduced in the late 90s. This train looks almost identical to the ICE-1, but it was built to solve a major operational puzzle, as you could couple two of these train sets together and automatically splitting a board in under 2 minutes. Then you could handle two completely different destinations at once. This completely changed how DB dynamically managed passenger demand. There are 28 units, each carrying around 370 passengers per unit. The top speed is also 280 kilometers per hour. The ICE-3 family. This is the absolute icon of modern German engineering. It is the fast, sleek, aerodynamic white bullet everyone pictures when they think of the ICE. Unlike the previous two, the ICE-3 uses distributed traction. There are no heavy locomotives at the ends. Instead, the motors, transformers and brakes are tucked completely underneath the floorboards of the passenger cars. If you book a ticket in the lounge section at the absolute front or back of the train, you sit directly behind the train driver. With just a glass partition separating you, you get a literal driver's eye view of the tracks flying past at 300 kilometers per hour. The top speed of this train is 320 or 330 kilometers per hour. Currently, there are around 135 units of these trains, and they can carry roughly around 440 passengers per unit. The ICE-T. This is the only tilting ICE. It looks very similar to the ICE-3, but it has a slightly less aggressive, more rounded nose, and its body is narrower. Germany has thousands of kilometers of old winding tracks that would cost billions to flatten out. This ICE is the answer to this problem, as the tilting technology allows the train to fly through the curves up to 30% faster without passengers sliding out of their seats. Top speed is capped at 230 kilometers per hour, making it a medium-fast helper train for challenging terrain. Currently, there are 59 units, each carrying around 360 seats. And the last category is the ICE-4. These trains are the modern spine of Deutsche Bahn. It wasn't built to break speed records, it was built to carry a lot of people. And it has a unique, sharp geometric nose compared to the curvy ICE-3. To maximize efficiency, it uses lightweight car bodies and a highly aerodynamic design that saves roughly 22% more energy per passenger compared to the older modernized ICE-1 units. The top speed is around 250-265 kilometers per hour, and the Deutsche Bahn bought 137 units of this train in various lengths. The longest 13-car version stretches over 374 meters and carries 918 seats. Currently, the DB is rolling out its newest ICE train, the ICE-L, built by Spanish Talgo. It is the first low-floor entry ICE train, and in the future there should be 79 units of this type. Calculating this all together, we get the estimated total ICE seating capacity of around 224,000 seats. Well, let's have a look at the French TGV fleet seating capacity. The French rail operator SNCF has a slightly smaller overall number of trains, but almost their entire fleet consists of high-capacity double-decker sets. The single-deckers TGV Atlantique and Réseau. These are the classic, sleek French bullet trains that defined high-speed rail globally in the late 1980s and 90s. They feature a distinctive low profile, sharp wedge-shaped noses, and traditional single-level carriages. In 1990s, a heavily modified TGV Atlantique blasted down the tracks to hit a mind-melting 515 km per hour, breaking the world's speed record for conventional steel-wheel trains. top commercial speed of this train is 300 kilometers per hour. There are roughly 85 units in operation, and they carry between 370 or 480 passengers, giving it an average of 430 seats per unit. The TGV Duplex, the absolute undisputed king of modern French rail, this train completely redefined how a country handles mass transit. The train uses a sleek aluminium body to fit 2 floors of passenger seating into a standard train height. In the 1990s, the high-speed line between Paris and Lyon became a victim of its own success. It was completely saturated with trains, and SNCF couldn't add any more departure slots without risking the safety. Instead of building a multi-billion parallel track, France engineered a revolution, the duplex. By squeezing 2 levels into the exact same 200-meter length, which single-deckers have, they increased passenger capacity by over 40% per train without altering a single piece of their infrastructure. The top speed is 320 kilometers per hour. There are 280 sets of these trains, each able to carry around 540 passengers. Currently, France is waiting for its newest generation of TGVs, the TGV M. The letter M stands for modular, highlighting the train's defining feature: its ability to completely transform its interior layout and adapt its car configurations based on passenger demand. The SNCF ordered a total of 130 train sets, which should start operation this year. The estimated total TGV seating capacity is 186,000 seats. The final result? Germany's ICE offers around 225,000 seats, while the TGV has a total seating capacity of 186,000 seats. This is a win for Germany. Punctuality. If you ask anyone who has traveled in Europe recently, they will tell you the same thing. French TGV is incredibly reliable. Because its network is isolated on those dedicated high-speed lines, it rarely interacts with slower traffic. The result? The TGV network regularly boasts a spectacular punctuality rate of around 85 to 90% of trains arriving within 5 minutes of their scheduled time. Germany's ICE network, however, is in the middle of a historic crisis. Because the ICE must share its tracks with other slower trains, a single 5-minute delay on a regional line cascades across the entire country like a house of cards. In recent years, long-distance trains' punctuality plummeted to around 63%, making it not very reliable. This is a win for France. So who wins this ultimate European high-speed rail duel? Well, if your definition of a high-speed railway is getting from A to B at absolute maximum velocity without delay, France and its TGV system wins. Its dedicated infrastructure makes it faster, more reliable, and less prone to delays that Germany is dealing with. In our comparison, France won 4-1. Which train would you rather travel on? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button for more global rail deep dives, and I'll see you in the next station. Bye!